Hey, so it's been a while. You know, if I had a nickel for any time I try to do a challenge and my schedule becomes completely clogged, I would have two nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, and I'm worried it's going to create a pattern. Artfight. This year's Artfight was certainly interesting, especially considering this was my first time participating. So let's see how that went, shall we? I actually wanted to prep my work early, having a few OCs bookmarked so that I could get started on drawing early and having my reference sheets done before the month began. I bookmarked a few every now and then. I would go on the site and I would start drawing out my reference sheets for my PNG tuber. I was able to finish the base, but I didn't know how to fill out the rest of the page and ended up saving that for off stream. Did I do anything else for prep work? No, I ended up finishing all my references way later and actually started working on Artfight a few days late. I started working on Artfight around the 8th of the month and first posted the reference sheet of my PNG tuber before working on fights. Was not exactly happiest with how late I started, but I had to remind myself that this was just for fun and it's fine to join a bit late. At least during my next stream, I was able to start working on attacks and I was able to finish two, Yasha by Sintera and Vivian by OMG V3. It was quite interesting to do, and it was a good recovery for my art block, as I wasn't drawing the same things and actually drawing other people's designs. Honestly, with people's interesting OC designs, it was quite refreshing. Designs I wouldn't have even thought about were so fun to draw and think of art pieces for, honestly. I didn't do all my attacks on stream, however. I had one night where me and my friends, who were also participating on Artfight, decided to have a night where we would just work on Artfight attacks together as we sat on call. On this night, I decided to draw Armageddon by Kadeko and experiment on a symmetrical design. The next art piece I did on stream, and then shortly after felt very understimulated and switched to Splatoon after finishing. I was quite happy with the results, however, especially the colors, so here is Lex by Frosted Mocha. Off camera, I decided to draw another attack for Adrilu of their OC. Adrilu? Okay, we'll do it. Okay. Off camera, I decided to draw another attack for Adrilu of their OC, Pixel. I definitely would have drawn way more off stream if somehow work didn't make me work more hours than usual and a certain person didn't get me into a certain fandom. Regardless, I was able to focus in and work on more art the next stream, having an idea of exactly what I wanted to draw, right? I planned out 3 art pieces, taking 1 hour each approximately, and then the first piece, for Natasha, took 2 hours. It was worth the time because it was still one of my favorite pieces, but dear god. I was able to make 2 full artworks that stream, including that one and Void by Whisper Eclipse. Which isn't bad, but I was starting to worry that the amount of art I was making was not as much as I wanted it to be. In Artfight, you can see your own statistics, and one of them is the attack ratio, which is the ratio of attacks you have made in comparison to the attacks you've received. I wanted to have way more attacks done than received, but the messy schedule made me have other plans. Later during the month, I posted 2 references for an OC of mine and an OC of my friend we made together. They don't draw or have Artfight, so I got permission from them to post our OCs on Artfight so they could potentially have people draw them. Shortly after I posted those references, people were pretty quick on it and drew our Why did I write that in the script? People were pretty quick on it and drew our characters. I mention this because the next attack I did was on one of the people who attacked me, so this was a revenge. Plural24 had a cute TV design. So I can pronounce the username, but not the script. Okay. Plural24 had a cute TV head design, and I would attack with this art. At this point, I was getting really consistent with my art style and rendering style, so I was pretty proud of my art one after another. Unfortunately, it was nearing the end of the month by now, and I haven't done many attacks, but I put in my best for at least 2 more. One of them was another Splatoon OC that really caught my eye, and the other was a revenge for one of my friends. You've seen him before on here. It's Goose. He drew one of my OCs early on during Artfight, and I told myself I had to make at least one drawing for him before Artfight ends. So I put in my all and I made our 2 OCs we shipped together into a piece. I definitely need to draw them more. Before I wanted to get my final thoughts, I want to show off all the attacks I got during Artfight. Shout out to Centera, Nautical Goose, Plul, Ash Nobody's Home, Lettuce, Loopsen, Kadeko, and Squirrel. If any of you see this, I appreciate all your drawings dearly. It means so much that people like my OCs and really wanted to draw them. Now, with Artfight over, how am I feeling? I feel pretty good. For me, it was a good refresher. It helped me get out of art block and try new things, and I even experimented with perspective a lot more recently, and I could feel my art skills improving with each piece. It was a lot though. I wish I could have done more pieces, or even just simpler pieces, because all my attacks were full render designs for the most part, when I could have done a few sketch drawings so I could attack a few more people. It was fun regardless, even though this month became extremely busy for no reason. Would I do it again next year? I'm not sure. I think it would be fun, but I would have to check my schedule when the time comes. I do want to have time, and I want to have the skills to do more art, because I'm not exactly happy with how many pieces I did. Like, yes, I'm happy with the art I made, but I would like to at least make some more. There is a lot of OCs I had bookmarked that I just didn't get to do, and I'm kind of upset at myself for that. I could have just made something simple, but it's something to learn. I'm trying not to be hard on myself because, as I said, this is my first time. So hopefully by next year I'm a little bit more prepared, and let's hope I have more time and I wasn't god fixated on a certain game. You can tell it's bad because most of all my drawings lately is from that game. Please help. I've been literally playing Roblox constantly